pavement, but the nature of the ground in some places. I think they did a great job in smoothing the surface out for the most part.
Changes where you worry about jumping in, at least the red and white rumble strips, because they can throw you straight into a wall. It's a street track. How high are they here?
Honestly, they're usable.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely very usable, and I think you'll see people getting away with as much as you physically can.
The Ferrari streaming by. I thought that was Carlos Sainz, although we're watching the clock. His teammate, and the Ferrari is on this side. So all of the teams taking a different tack in this first practice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that they're going to take a split on different strategies, or at least different understandings of both tires for this first session. Luckily, not a sprint race this weekend, because you'd only have an hour to get it right. And thankfully, they've got time to do a traditional Grand Prix here.
Something you have to think about as well with this track is the paint on the road, right? It's the street surface. Full throttle, no lift. Sometimes that paint can be a little slippery, so you have to be careful these first few laps, because you don't want to get close to 200 miles an hour. It's slightly more slippery than you think.
Certainly the feeling in Ferrari was that this could be something to them. We've compared it so far to Singapore, but that's just the lights. Closer comparison would be Monza and Silverstone, two of the fastest circuits, and you've been the one that's told me that this is going to be.
Absolutely. I talked to Carlos Sainz just yesterday. Long time friend. We raced way back in the day. He's always honest with me, and he was optimistic. So I like to see that. You know, Ferrari has obviously had incredible pace in qualifying, and I like to see a little bit of this. You know, seeing what the toe is actually right now on the back straight by Lewis Hamilton.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The aerodynamic nose to tail can go quicker than a single. As we see the 7-time world champion Sir Lewis Hamilton on the softest Pirellis on his Mercedes.
That also helped the team gear. Did they miss the gearing? Were they able to nail it? You know, that'll be super helpful for them as well.
One thing I've noticed all season, and obviously it goes right into. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just watching Lance Stroll there, who was pulling off his in this all-important first practice session. The team's going to work taking the car apart. No, that is not good news.
Yeah, that's a few races ago, but Aston Martin, well, it was Austin, I think, the weekend. And it was Lance Stroll who was stuck out and missed the first practice. Now, that was a sprint race weekend, so it really put them on the back foot, and they did come good, actually, towards the end. Set up differently. We spoke to him, and he said he looked at the drivers and said they on what kind of car they wanted, and one went one way, the other went the other. So we'll see.
Right? And when you're looking for the smallest amounts of time, I mean, we've seen Formula One just become closer and closer between teams, and one setup, another driver might prefer the other car.
Now, what's happened to the birthday boy this week?
Oops, using the curves.
But that looked like he was doing that purposely to see just how much purchase he could get.
And you listen to it, you could hear on the onboard, you hear it hitting the floor. That's the issue with the curve, is you try to take as much of it until it fully destabilizes the platform and takes the car off the ground, essentially.
These cars are incredibly stiffly sprung, and they need to be flying straight and level for the aerodynamics to work. Is that Leclerc's Ferrari?
Oh, come on. It's Brazil all over again, and it's red flagged immediately.
Meaning all the cars will head to the pits.
Well, he's got the dice on it, but it's rolled the wrong way.
It's less than ideal.
No.
Looks a little smoky.
So let's kind of what's the procedure here? I get obviously you've got to come in, but you don't know. I don't think it's going to take long, because well, you say that, but you say that, there's no way to get him out of there.
Get the tow truck out.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No,
You can pull it back.
But boy, they certainly don't want to be parked there for the duration.
Oh,
And now, again, ultimate nightmare for a driver, right?
Yeah.
Because now all he can do, if let's say, not able to get the car refired, they're not able to get that out for practice, all he's going to be able to do now is study his teammates' data, right? He won't have that feel for what his teammate Charles Leclerc is going to get to, right? All he can look at is, all right, well, it looks like I can go this fast, but until you feel it as a driver, it's tough to get to that pace, right out the gate if you get a little bit off pace here in the session.
Now, Carlos is out of the car. There's 49 minutes to go in the session. Frederick Vasseur looking worried. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, I mean, Ferrari has been completely star-crossed in recent races. At 2 of the last 4 Grand Prix, they only had 1 car in the race. Carlos Sainz didn't start in Qatar, and then Charles Leclerc crashed heading for the grid.
Hydraulics, yeah.
In Brazil.
So this is also a little bit of time to do a little bit of adjustments for Alexander Albon. But yeah, I mean, so the problem now for Ferrari is that they've got to get that car back, and that's going to take time.
Yes.
Goodness knows how you get it back quickly on a street circuit like this.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, where we have a situation that I frankly have not encountered before in Formula One. We watched as the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz pulled to a stop just at the top of the Las Vegas Strip straightaway. There you see the car being taken behind the wall. And at the top of the screens, you can see that the stewards have declared the practice session will not be resumed. With some 40 minutes and change remaining in the session, frankly, Jonathan, I'm at a loss as to explain why, with what appears to be a perfectly ready-to-go racetrack, they don't want to send the cars back out.
Well, I think we need to make one thing clear, that three or four things have happened. You can see Vassar's face is just disconsolate. But obviously, this is not the reason why we have stopped the entire session because of Carlos Sainz's incident. Although that was, it looked to me, Connor, like a complete blow.
The only thing that I can really think of, the engine looked like it was a rapid unscheduled disassembly. I don't know what that's the official word on that, but you saw a few sparks on that back straight, right? Like I don't know if drivers maybe report that, hey, these bumps are too aggressive at that speed. I don't know. I mean, usually you could be able to raise the ride height, right? But maybe there's something with the track that says, hey, you know what, we need to get a grinder out, we need to do something and just kind of make it smoother in certain locations. That's the only thing that I can think of, because I guess there has to be something that is a detrimental safety issue, and obviously safety is most important.
Well, as you can see, the faces of the drivers look very
All right, the
Blurry.
first indication we've gotten for this stoppage is track repairs. Something about the racetrack.
Well, that goes to what Connor just said then, doesn't it?
Could be.
You heard George Russell say that, grip levels are low. We knew that going in.
Well, yeah.
This has got to be something to do, I think, like you said, with sparks or something that is making it unsafe to drive.
Yeah, and sadly, you just can't possibly know that until you put race cars
Yeah.
out on the track. And I think they've done a great job in preparing this whole circuit. I mean, there was no delay in getting the cars on track, which is super impressive for a new, totally new street circuit. But hopefully they can get this sorted out here pretty soon.
Fear and loathing in Las Vegas. But yeah, I mean, what about all the boffins back in England? In Milton Keynes or in Maranello in Italy? Now they've got nothing to work with. Absolutely nothing. 9 minutes is all. Robert Schwartzman watching on, the test driver and reserve driver. Some not getting a lap. Stroll also out of the car. You spotted that, Bob. How bizarre.
We saw Christian Horner, team principal at Red Bull, speaking with Frederic Vasseur of Ferrari. And I'm wondering if Horner was asking Fred, what did Carlos tell you about that equipment failure? Gunther Steiner in the Haas pit. On a lighter note, the Haas team has a very clever spin on the weekend. Signs in their hospitality unit say, "Welcome to Haas Vegas."
They had great t-shirts on coming into the track this morning. I loved them. Great Las Vegas Haas t-shirts.
I do like the fact that Gunther Steiner's a good example, totally embracing it, he was in a promo with cards and, all the rest of it. It's typical Gunther style.
Well, the mystery continues. We do have another practice coming up in a couple of hours, and we certainly hope to get that in its entirety. But we're done for now here at the inaugural Formula One Heineken Silver Las Vegas Grand Prix. So stand by, more on-track action scheduled.